only someone would have told me these extremely important things, I would have probably enjoyed my first year as a new mom without the stress of keeping up with the Joneses, and really would have embraced the newness of that season when I was in it. I'm going to share all the things I wish I would have known as a new mom in that postpartum season. My prayer is that you feel encouraged and that helps you to feel more like yourself again, or as people have been saying, find your pink. Okay, the habit of good influences, because your environment and your village are so important. I am really speaking to a younger version of me when I first became a mom, because I had so much time at home and I was on social media a lot then. A lot of people know I'm off. This is the only platform that I'm on currently. I do have the accounts to my other social media, but this is the only one that I was on because I felt really convicted, and I was spending a lot of time comparing myself to other people, but also in that I was really influenced by other mothers. And I remember specifically following an account that I really was related to. I really understood what the mom was saying, and I felt what she was saying. It was really relatable, but after a while it became very negative because of all those postpartum hormones and emotions, that I was becoming very resentful to things in my life, and it was not filled with truth. And so I say that as a caution and a warning of be careful what's influencing you in this new season. Not every mommy influencer is speaking truth or speaking the word, and so just be very careful of what you're letting in, because that is going to drive your day. And I don't know about you, but I want my influence to be from the primary source, to be from the word, to be from Jesus, because that's the influence I want us to have my children see from me as they age. So just getting that habit when you are in this newness and the new season of becoming a mother, and as your kids grow older and your babies grow older, you've already established that habit of being in the word and letting them see you read the word. That is just so big. And so I just really, my prayer is that you're intentional with what you are feeding yourself in your days. Whether you are nursing or breastfeeding or bottle feeding, soak it up. You are their primary caretaker for this season, and you have been selected for this child from the Lord. And so a lot of people, that I feel like everyone always asked, especially when you're pregnant, they're like, you're never gonna have sleep again. And then when you have the baby, you're like, oh, well, are you getting any sleep? And like, obviously no, not at first. And so my encouragement to you is soak up those nighttime feedings, whether you're nursing or bottle feeding, because it is such a sweet bond that it is just in the quiet moment of the night where you can be with the Lord. You can worship the Lord, and you can just pray with him, pray over your child. And that is something that has just been so sweet and really has changed my perspective in motherhood. And it has been such a battlefield, that a spiritual battlefield, that I have just enjoyed so much. And so that's my encouragement to you, is that is just a short season when they're not going to be up in the night, and it might seem like a really hard season, and it's hard not getting sleep, and it's so difficult to try to function in the morning, but you can do it, and it is so worth it to just keep going and just use that time instead of being on your phone. And it's not that I'm not on my phone every single time. Sometimes I am on my phone, or they're just finding a balance. But through the night specifically, I'm really grateful to just look at that sweet little baby, the gift that the Lord has given me, and pray over him, and just tell the Lord how grateful I am for his presence, and let it be a sacred time between you and the Lord. Comparing yourself to other moms, and we're all running the race. We're all running the race of endurance, and I think not look to your left or to your right in perspective of how your children are performing or behaving. I feel like whenever Leo, my first, was growing up in that first year, I feel like we had close friends who also had a baby, and I feel like we were just like comparing, and it wasn't like we were trying to compete with each other openly. It was kind of an unspoken thing. Oh, well, he's doing this. Oh, but he's not doing this. But yours is. And feeling like I'm quote unquote failing because they haven't made a certain milestone yet, which really is just months apart. So I would say don't even stress about all those things. You are a wonderful mother is what I will tell you, and just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, mothering, taking care of them, and not stress about meeting certain milestones, because they are going to be great. They are going to be great warriors for the kingdom. As long as you are well with the Lord and you are pursuing that, they're going to feed off that for sure. So don't make your children a competition. And honestly, there's a lot of freedom that comes with that, especially as they get older. They don't have to perform for approval, and that's just exactly what the gospel is. That you have nothing to prove but someone to please, and that someone is the Lord. So I encourage you to speak that over yourself early on and find that freedom before you feel the need to prove yourself. Don't be idle. This one I get really convicted of for a while because, like I said, I enjoy slow mornings, but it became a routine of being a little too slow in the mornings, where it would fill my day with idleness, and it would be being on my phone and looking up something that I probably didn't need to, as in distracting me from doing the things I need to do, like cleaning, or just doing specific things on my list of wifehood and mothering and being a homemaker itself. And I think I love a lot of Greg Rochelle, what he has to preach, but he talks a lot about pre-deciding. And so the night before, I'm like pre-deciding, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow. And pre-decide, I'm not in the smallest of ways without even just making a list of what I need to do tomorrow. It is pre-deciding, I'm not going to be on my phone for the first hour that I wake up. That is a big win. I started that actually before I became a mom, and I kind of fell off of that once I became a mother, because I thought, well, I'm going to be home all day, so it's fine, I can get it done. But really, it turned into some idleness. So another habit that I really wish I would have nailed down was to consistently be active. I found that now, as a second-time mom, I guess, being a mom of two, that I desperately need to be out and go for a walk. And so I wish I would have gone on more walks. And it's hard when you have kids to do it on, I guess, your own terms. It's just not that it's bad, it just looks different. And so to go on more walks when you're in that season, and just going on, like, to smell the roses and just enjoy being with your little baby, looking at them in the stroller, getting outside, getting fresh air, because that's really going to help you mentally and really physically as well, getting some exercise in. And one of my favorite things is I love to just go get a coffee and go on a nice little walk, especially with the fall coming up, just perfect weather, and just enjoy being outside. And second to that is just scheduling time outside. I do this now with like 2 kids because I want to be really intentional with the time that we're inside or outside with naps and whatnot. However, we do live in coastal Alabama, and so even just having time as a family going outside, for us, we're very blessed that we can just quickly go to the beach for an evening walk and just relax in the sand and just really appreciate God's creation. I know the locals here don't really go in the summer because of all the tourists, but it's such a hidden gem. I just can't help but go because it is just so beautiful, and just really just being in the Lord's peace and being in the sand, your toes in the sand, and feeling the wind and the breeze from the waves is, I just can't help it. Okay, this is also a very practical tip that I wish I would have known, is meal schedule and prep and start dinner early. This is just super easy, especially in postpartum, where it's just hard to even think about what's for dinner when it's so new, and thinking about, oh, I have to breastfeed at this time, and then you'll probably fall asleep. I don't want to make too much noise, and just adjusting to all the things. I think being able to have a schedule of what you're going to eat this week, and to budget it well, to have a plan of what you're going to have, save some money, eat at home during the week, and just have the weekends to eat out, or whatever your finances look like. But with meals, preparing them so avoids being hangry, or if you're breastfeeding, you need to eat. So just being prepared with food all around, and starting dinner early, because you never know what will happen the rest of the day. If things don't go as you had planned, that you have prepared at least a meal to eat by the time your husband comes home, and that your kids are being fed and healthy and happy, even if it's just you and your husband eating the actual food. You have a meal to eat, and you're prepared, is all I gotta say, because no one wants to be hangry. Okay, follow a cleaning schedule. So hear me out on this. I would always hear mom say, schedule your cleaning, and I'm just like, okay, that's over the top. If there's dirty dishes in the sink, I'll just put the dirty dishes away. And that's true. Well, please do that. But there is certain things that you don't want to miss when you have so much going on, and I feel like you'll get so much out of your week, not just your day, but so much out of your week if you do set a timer for 15 minutes a day to focus on a specific task. And so I even have a cleaning schedule that I just put out on my Etsy shop, and it's only $4.99, and it gives you what to clean every single day of the week, except for Saturday, because Saturday is Sabbath, and Sunday is kind of a lighter cleaning day. And all of these are actually pretty light, and I love it because one day, I'm pretty sure on Tuesdays, we have where we clean the bathrooms, and then it's good for the rest of the week. And then on Wednesday is Wipe It Down Wednesday, and we're going to wipe down all the surfaces in the house, just so that I'm not really fond of a Sunday reset. So I'm not spending a whole day or multiple hours on a Sunday cleaning my house, but it's something we do all together, especially with kids. I make my son put his laundry in the washer, and obviously you have a baby, so your little baby's not gonna be able to help you, but just getting those habits done now of putting your house on a schedule, when you're young, and as they get older, they'll want to help you. It's like Montessori, okay? They love all this stuff, and my son loves to help. So putting your house on schedule, you're gonna feel so much better because your house is clean, and you'll just enjoy it a lot more. The first of your fruits, and that is to give it to the Lord. Continue to do that. That doesn't have to change just because you have a baby. And so many people say you won't be able to have your quiet time when you have kids, or I feel like even in pregnancy, people kind of like tend to focus on the negative, and that's just not true. You just have to have a change of perspective. And so your quiet time with the Lord will look different as your kids age. While they're young, I mean, they sleep a lot, so I think you'll be able to get in the Word probably a lot more, especially if you're transitioning to being a stay-at-home mom, where you'll be home for longer periods of time to be in the Word. But even if you're not, like, there really are no excuses not to be dwelling in truth. And I think it's something that our culture likes to find excuses in, is avoiding being able to do that. It just will look different. And so if you don't have your physical Bible in front of you, it doesn't mean you're not in the Word. I feel like my prayer life with the Lord really was deepened and strengthened when I became a mother, and I really asked him for help simply in asking him. I never had changed a newborn diaper before, and I said, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. I need you to help me. And even in just the smallest ways, I felt like I was able to see more of his love and more of his spirit and his presence throughout my whole day than just in the morning as just a checklist. And I just really have enjoyed being able to dwell in his presence. And this is not sponsored by Dwell, but speaking of Dwell is one of my favorite Bible apps, and it reads to you in a different narrators from around the globe. So if you enjoy listening to someone with a British accent or Australian accent, you can have it, or even in Spanish. We're a bilingual household, so I even try to listen to it in Spanish as well. But there's just, you could still be able to give your first fruits to the Lord the first of your day, and throughout your entire day is what I've learned, to the Lord. And part 2 to this part 1 is give my days to Jesus. I wish I would have given my days to Jesus. And so recently I've just been reminded that if I give the Lord my life, then really those are my days. And so ultimately that makes up your whole life. And so if I'm going to choose to give the Lord my days, that means my agendas, my schedules, my routines, and to hold it loosely in the sight of His presence. And of course, we still have these things, but also holding it with open hands to see what the Father wants to do with it. Instead of holding it so tight that I miss it. I feel like I need to check off all the boxes in the day, because I'm a mama who loves lists and to-dos and checklists and just getting everything done that I need to get done to feel accomplished and to feel like I'm doing the best for my kids. But also it's holding those plans loosely and letting the Holy Spirit minister to your kids. And that's another thing I just love about slow living and mothering is while my children are home and at this young age, I have such a joy to just teach them the word and teach them. And that is our job as parents, is to teach them the ways of the Lord. And so that involves us living in the ways of the Lord. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you feel encouraged as a new mama and in your postpartum season, and that these habits will change the way that you just live your days and they live them to glorify the Lord as a new mama. So I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. I hope you all have a blessed week.